Welcome back to ENHL. The series shifts back to Carolina for Game 6 as this round 1 matchup between the Capitals and Hurricanes continues. In net for the Washington Capitals is Braden Holtby as he hopes to advance Washington into round 2 and defeat Carolina like they were unable to do last year, and Peter Mrazek hoping to force a Game 7 here on home ice. Here we go, just about set for the opening faceoff. Zach Finch on the call as Backstrom and Aho step into the opening faceoff. And we are underway as Backstrom wins it back to Kepney and the Capitals. Will have possession first. Backstrom trying to find his way on in, tries to get around the defender, and he'll pass it back to Kepney. Kepney walks in, and a quick shot on is blocked by the traffic out in front. Wilson and Slavin tangled up in the corner, and that's eventually carried out by Carolina. Here comes Tara Vinen gaining speed, over to Aho. Howe in the goalie! And Holtby is able to get a pad on that and deflect it into the corner. Carolina maintaining possession before getting bumped off. And Ovechkin, Washington's leading goal scorer, will carry it up. Ovechkin into the corner. Unable to find anyone out in front, and Slavin will strip him of the puck and carry it the other way. Aho through center. Finds Tara Vinen. He is absolutely leveled on the half wall, and that's going to be a boarding penalty against Karlsson. So Karlsson, leading both these teams in penalty minutes, gets a boarding penalty here early. As you see, Teravine just dumped it in, left his back exposed, and Karlsson went right through that, and Carolina has an early power play opportunity. They were 8th in the league in the regular season at a success rate of 22.3. We'll see if they can get a big one here. Gardner starts out, a big shot from the point, and that's blocked by Eller. Eller on the shorthanded unit. Eller just waited too long. And the Carolina defense catches up, and what a missed opportunity by Eller on the shorthanded unit. Washington scores on the shorthanded unit about 4% of the time, and Eller, a great opportunity to make a big difference in Game 1, is unable to finish. As Carolina gets their power play back underway, as they start getting their setup. Here's Halla in front, tried to wrap it around and get it in between the pad and the post. That hit the side of the net, and Holtby will freeze for a whistle. We've talked before how Kuznetsov leads both these teams in points. Has slowed off in the second half of this series as he was held to under a point last game, and the power play resets. Aho on the far side, bumped off, retains possession, but it's Wilson who ends up getting the better of him. He'll cause Carolina to come out, but not for long, as they're right back underway here, as here comes Shnestakov on the near side, tries to find someone out in front, and Jensen, just as the penalty expires, ices the puck. And they'll go back to 5-on-5. Netchis tried to find the winger on the far side, but he's bumped off, and then I'll go the length of the ice. And that will be icing. Look at Pesce leading the Carolina Hurricanes in points. Only one goal in the series thus far. Trying to fill the void of Sami Vatanen, who has not made an appearance yet, as quick chance for Kuznetsov out in front. It's turned aside. Sami Vatanen was injured, a lower body injury on February 4th, has yet to make his return as he is on the injured reserve. And Carolina missing him as they're down 1 in this series. Netchis plays it up for Aho, and they'll break it out to Niederreiter. Niederreiter across the blue line. Doesn't have anyone, so he'll rip it around the back of the net to Williams. Williams out in front, and he tries to tuck it in, but is bumped off, and Holtby made the save. Oshie trying to toe drag himself in, and he gets the puck back. And right on the doorstep, was poked away by Mrazek. And here comes Fogle. Fogle, does he have a step on the defender? No, as Orlov just catches up, and he has to dish it back. Fogle on the return feed, sends it around the horn in a quick shot. Turned aside by Holtby on the sharp angle. Turned over at center ice, and Niederreiter will try his luck as he walks in, centering pass for Stahl. And he risked that one just wide of the net. Hathaway now for the Capitals. Can they get anything started here? It's been a slow start as Hathaway in the slot. A good blocker save by Mrazek. That's into the corner. Hathaway maintaining possession here for the Capitals as Karlsson up at the points, bumped off, and Leipzig there for support. Dowd finds Leipzig right in the slot. Another chance. And a loose puck out in front of Mrazek. He decides just to cover it up as it was a couple opportunities out in front. As I just mentioned, Karlsson leading either team in penalty minutes. Luckily for him, the Capitals able to kill off the first opportunity, and they have an offensive zone draw. That just comes in for Carolina, and Carolina will dump it into the Capitals' end. Gudas behind his own net, hands it off to Eller, and Eller will throw it off to the near side. Eller gets the return feed. He has some room. A slap shot from the point, and Mrazek has to freeze that, and we'll get another whistle. Carolina, the underdogs in this series. They have been underdogs the entire season, as during the preseason, they are given plus 3,000 odds to win, and the Capitals plus 1,400. So if you're a gambling guy, those are some stats to look at here, as Washington, currently the favorites right now, leading the series 3-2, and Carolina hoping to win one last game on home ice in this series. Ovechkin over to Backstrom, finds Gudas in the slot, shot, scores! Gudas joined Ovechkin and Backstrom on the rush, and he finds the puck on his stick, and he wrists it past Mrazek, and is able to give the Capitals a 1-0 lead here in Game 6. Gudas just found some open space on the near side, and with no one to confront him, he continues on and shoots that one in the low side, and Mrazek unable to put a pad on it, and Gudas from Ovechkin and Backstrom puts the Capitals up 1 here in this elimination game.
Washington goal.
We reset here as Backstrom will carry it in once again for the Capitals. Slavin picks up for Carolina. Finds Williams, and that was poked just as he had crossed the line. And so it'll get called back for an offside. So Carolina trying to force a Game 7. It would be a rematch of last year's first round, as Carolina was able to beat Washington in Game 7. As they try to do the same thing here at home tonight. Teravainen, rebound, and Holtby makes a third save on Aho. And dangerous times in front of Holtby's crease, as Washington tries to go the other way, and it's Siegenthaler carrying the puck offside. These two teams split the season series. In the regular season, Washington taking 2 in regulation, and Carolina taking 1 in overtime. So very much even play throughout these two teams in the regular season, and that continues here in the playoffs as Washington leads the series by 1. Netchis try at the slot, and that was blocked out in front. Kepney out in front, and that was blocked as well. Just over 3 minutes to play here as both teams trying to find some separation. It's been Gudas so far getting the golden goal for Washington, as Panik starts again in the center. Carlson, Panik scores! Panik on the give and go. Takes a ripper from inside the zone. And from far out, he just winds one past Mrazek. And Washington taking a commanding 2-0 lead here, as PNG Arena just looks on as their season's on the line here. So it's goals in quick succession here. The first period for Washington, as Gudas scored the first and Panik the second. Not your typical heroes for Washington, but I'm sure they'll take it as we are back underway. Dougie Hamilton joining the rush, tries to find someone back at the point. He does. Gardner, quick shot from the point, and Holtby freezes that with 2 minutes to play. And we'll get a whistle. Well, Washington has found success on the road. They tend to score more on the road, as they have 12 more goals when entering an opponent's arena versus their own. And so far, they are up 2 against Carolina tonight. Here comes Oshie in the slot. Kuznetsov, a great save by Mrazek. And Kuznetsov right out in front again. Kuznetsov was left all alone. No defender picked him up, and he had a second opportunity there in front of Mrazek. But that was patted away. Less than a minute here in the first, as right out in front was a chance. And Wilson able to get a stick on that and join the rush the other way. Wilson trying to find some options. He elects to shoot and then hit off a body. Again, one last opportunity. He gets bumped off, and here's Williams. Williams trying to get something to try to get a shot off, actually. And Verana right there to bump him off. And that'll do it for the first period, as it is Washington hoping to reach the second round, going up 2 here in the first.
All right, fans, time for tonight's Lucky Road giveaway. Congratulations.
And Carolina desperate for a storm surge tonight, as their team is down 2. And so far as Washington bringing the storm to Carolina, as Panic makes it 2-0 Washington at the second intermission. Welcome back to ENHL. We are just about set for the second period. Washington leads this one 2-0 so far. And when Washington scores first, they are 26-6-2, hoping to advance to round 2 tonight. We are underway as Slavin, right off the draw, a goal! Slavin on what looked like a nothing chance in front of Holtby. Just deflected off his pad and just trickled in behind him, as that one slowly crossed the line, and Holtby just not able to get all of it. And I'll just shut my mouth, as Carolina is right back into this one. As quickly here, they have gotten the fans back on board, as we can see a momentum shift building in the process. Aho wins it back to Slavin. Can they build on this? Van Riemsdyk down to Shestakov. He's met by 2 Capitals, and he decides to bring it all the way around. Intercepted, though, and here comes Wilson. Wilson on the breakaway. And Mrazek goes to the top of his crease and able to freeze for a whistle. And that would have been a deflating series of events, as Wilson on the breakaway came this close to putting the Capitals back up 2. Ovechkin from his office, right off the draw, unable to get that, as Mrazek makes a beautiful save and just later makes another and freezes. So we saw Ovechkin where he scores most of his goals. We've come to know it well over the years, as Mrazek, a desperation dive, able to get a blocker on it, and Mrazek tested after the Carolina goal early. Teravainen in the slot, shot, and great save, and there's a loose puck out in front. And Holtby will cover that one up, and he'll freeze for a whistle. As we saw earlier, Jacob Van Riemsdyk leading both teams in playoff hits, as he's been throwing his body around all series, as a shutout in front for Verana is turned aside. Washington breaks it in the other way. Bumped off, met by Kepney at the point. Kuznetsov, a shot. And Mrazek looking sharper here in the second period, as he has stopped everything he has seen thus far. And with just about 4 minutes played, he gets another faceoff in his own end. Carolina coach Rod Brind'Amour trying to get this team this series all series long, as they were down 3-1, were able to scrape away a 3-0 victory on the road, and his message to them in the intermission is just put more pucks on net. And we saw that just there early on, as the first shot of the period has went in. Gardner trying to find the second for Carolina, over to Hamilton. Niederreiter in the slot, that's blocked. Kuznetsov tried to break it out, and that hit the stick of Niederreiter, and Carolina will retain possession at center. Niederreiter on the break-in, finds Stahl shot, rebound, and that was cleared out of harm's way and dumped back in by Carolina. Oshie far back will hand it off to Hagelin, and Jensen up on the rush will try to find any options. He's bumped off, and he'll go all the way behind the net. Find Eller, and they'll exchange positions as Jensen's back on the point. Panic in the slot, quick shot, and Mrazek. Another great save here, as Washington, trying to extend this lead, has all the pressure, and it seems as if they have eliminated this momentum boost from Carolina, as they continue to have good offensive zone time, as McGinn trying to break it out for Carolina. He does. Gets past the blue line untouched, and he goes to the corner. Finally makes a play over to Pence at the blue line, and he is crushed. And Washington returns to favor just seconds after. As here comes Siegenthaler, a shot right in the slot, and Mrazek turned that aside, and he plays it. Siegenthaler, another opportunity. Weird pad save. And off the post is Zeller. As an uncalled for pass results in another opportunity. And Mrazek this time around knows better. And he'll freeze it to avoid any more chances. As physicality goes both ways, as Holla with the big hit on Hagelin. But the story here is Mrazek, an uncalled for pass in his own end, caused a couple turnovers, and the Washington Capitals had about 3 more chances. As they got a 4th off the faceoff, and Mrazek playing absolutely stellar goaltending here in the second period. Shvestikov, a quick shot, and Holtby wasn't able to locate that, and he'll get tested himself and squeeze the pads and freeze for a whistle. Carolina, maybe some inexperience coming into play, as they are one of the younger teams in the NHL, averaging a team age of 26.7, just about a year under the league average. And you also have to take into account Justin Williams playing in perhaps his last year at age 38. As this veteran Washington Capitals team comes back in, and that's turned over. Shvestikov trying to break it in for the Carolina Hurricanes. He's on the half wall. He tries to center it out in front, and Kempny there to get a stick on that, and he'll break it out. Wilson for the Capitals stops, hesitates. A little hesitation move, gets around Slavin. He goes to the corner, but he's eventually bumped off. And that's clear, but not for long, as the Capitals keep putting on the pressure here, as it's Backstrom over across. And Mrazek forced to make a one-time save. And just an immense amount of pressure from the Washington Capitals. Carolina, with their backs against the wall here in this series, trying to find anything to make the tide turn in their direction. They have been unable to get it, as Kempny, another shot. Relentless pressure from Washington, and Mrazek, standing on his head, makes another save. As they send out Backstrom and Wallmark into the face-off dots. Washington, their first line against Carolina's fourth line. We'll see how this transpires. As Netchis goes to the other side to Dzingel. He's bumped off, and Carlson will pick it off at the blue line. Ovechkin back down to Kempny. Wilson to Kempny as they try to find their way in. Washington finally gets across, and point shot from Carlson. That's blocked out in front. Vogel trying to find some room. Finds Edmondson into Dzingel. Breaks it out. Can the Tides turn with Dzingel? Dzingel coming it on. Finds the back, and a quick shot from Hall at the point, and that's turned aside. Jensen, uncalled for passes. That was almost turned over behind the nets. Wilson trying to find someone. He's nearing the end of his shift, and he'll turn it over. Luckily, the Washington Capitals defense remains strong, and Backstrom, the other way for Washington, tries to find a centering pass out in front. That's picked off. Vogel now in the center for Edmondson. Edmondson scores! Edmondson ties the game up in Carolina, as Washington held all the pressure and all the momentum. But it doesn't look like that on the scoreboard, as Edmondson ties this game up in the second period. And Carolina has crawled back and are still in this game, are still in the series. Edmondson coming in the clutch here as he gets his first of the playoffs. And with just over 4 minutes to go, PNC Arena has something to cheer about, as their team is right back in it. Gardner trying to capitalize on the momentum shift. Stahl gets a quick shot on, and a save by Holtby. Stahl gets it back. Carolina starting to get some offensive chances of their own, as that's gone around the gauntlet. Back to Hamilton. Niederreiter out in the slots. And a chance point blank, as another opportunity went over to Stahl, and a stick just intercepted that. Carolina perhaps finding life here, as Verana comes in along. He's bumped off by Hamilton. Hamilton over to Gardner, and Carolina breaking it out. Can Carolina hop on top here in the dying moments of the second? Stahl behind the net. He tries to find someone. Finds Williams out in front, and a great save by Holtby. Williams in perhaps his final year in the NHL. Will we see any more of him this season? As Eller.
Last minute of play.
Quick shot, another one, and this time Mrazek gloves it down, and he'll freeze for a whistle. Mentioned Justin Williams perhaps being his last season in the NHL. He re-signed with the Carolina Hurricanes for one more year for $700,000. UFA at the end of the season. Seems as if he's going to retire, so he's playing for his NHL career right here with 48 seconds remaining in the second. Eller pushed off, and Carolina will come in to win the faceoff. Williams over to McGinn. McGinn with under 20 seconds remaining. Finds Williams. Williams dishes it back. Van Riemsdyk a shot. And Holtby with 5 seconds left will freeze for a whistle. All proceeds from this ENHL stream are going directly towards Project Hope, a charity supporting and protecting the frontline healthcare heroes fighting COVID-19. So click the link in the chat to donate, or donate directly through the stream by subscribing and donating, and just by being a viewer. We appreciate your support. A quick shot, and another one, and Holtby saves that one just as the buzzer goes, and Carolina was unable to get a lot of offensive chances, but the chances they had, they capitalized, and they have tied this game up going into the third.
Courtesy of our arena.
It was Slavin at the beginning of the period. A weak goal that just found his way past Holtby. And the exclamation points. Edmondson tying it up. 2-2 going into the second intermission here in Carolina. Welcome back to ENHL. We are just about set for this third period. Carolina tying it up in the second, hoping to extend their season tonight. As we are back underway, as Ovechkin wins that and hands it off to Kempny. Kempny pinching, and he's intercepted by Aho. Kempny gets the puck back, however, and Backstrom, a quick tic-tac-toe opportunity, and Backstrom unable to finish, as that one saved early by Mrazek. Well, the Carolina Hurricanes won tied after 2. During the regular season, we're 7-5-3. Washington 4-1-4. So fairly even stats for that category, and we'll see which team comes out on top here. 2-2 as Kempny, a quick shot, rebound, and a great second opportunity save by Mrazek. Washington picking up where they left off, owning all the pressure. Over to Wilson, a good shot and a good pad save by Mrazek. Teravainen breaking it out for Carolina as he tries to find someone. Unable to, and he's bumped off. Quick pace here to start the third, as that's dumped in by Wilson, met by Slavin. Carolina breaking it out, and they cross center. Here comes Svechnikov. Svechnikov in, tries to find someone back. He does, and Stahl. Stahl in the slot, off the post. And Stahl hit the post and across the crease. You can't get any closer than that. And if we remember, Stahl hit a post in the last game. And I'm sure Stahl is just looking up skyward, wondering why he can't get anything to go. As Wilson over to Kuznetsov, and he finds Carlson at the points. Kempny a shot, and that's patted away by Mrazek. Carolina battling for the puck. Niederreiter's right on it, so is Wilson. Niederreiter finally gets it out and is able to get it over to Stahl on the far side. Stahl finds Van Riemsdyk coming in on, and he dishes it back. Quick shot, and that one's blocked. Van Riemsdyk getting it back. Fogle off the post. Van Riemsdyk down to Stahl, up to Van Riemsdyk. They're playing catch as Van Riemsdyk tries to find him down low, and Oshie finally breaks it up and is able to get it past center. So 2 posts in back-to-back succession. And Carolina looking skyward as they can't seem to get the lead here. And Williams is just able to step offside, and we'll get a whistle. Stahl, as we see that shot, he got bumped off right when he shot it. But nonetheless, the faceoff's outside. Tie game, 13 minutes remaining. Gardner gets it for Carolina. He hands it off to McGinn. Quick shot, and Holtby able to make the save. And things have slowed down here in the middle parts of the third. Looks like no team is wanting to make a mistake out there, as for one side, it could cost them their season. Holla wins it back to Gardner, but not too long as Orlov picks it off. Panic trying to dish it back. That's picked off by McGinn. Hamilton trying to break it out smoothly, and Caroline doesn't see anything, so they'll wrap around and try again. Hamilton at center, skating back. Capitals right on them as Carolina's unable to get into the offensive zone. They finally do in Hamilton as he circles back, trying to pass it through Dowd, but that is picked off and retained by Washington. Hagelin right and on, a quick shot. That was deflected by the stick of Hamilton. And Carolina right back out the other way. Here comes Carolina. Rebound in front. Scores! Natchez on the doorstep. Puts Carolina up 1. And what great timing, as it was a pass from what seemed like the goal line, found its way through multiple bodies and ends up on the stick of Martin Natchez. And he has the whole net to shoot at, as Holtby unable to get to the side, and he just gets it in between the body and the post, and he won't miss that as Martin Natchez gets the tiebreaker here, and Carolina now are in the driver's seat trying to force a Game 7.
Carolina goal scored by number 88, Martin Natchez.
Carolina won Game 7 last year. They're trying to repeat history,
By number 51.
and that all starts with the Game 6 win tonight.
10 minutes, 6 seconds.
Niederreiter tried to get it through. Had a couple of sticks, and Edmondson is pinned against the half wall, and that's broken out, and here comes Natchez. Natchez, the hero in Carolina, as he tries to re-spark some magic. Hands off to Pets, over to Wallmark. Wallmark again, shot, and Holtby made the save, and it was Wallmark and Natchez sending the puck back and forth. Wallmark got the good look and shot it, but met there at the top of his crease by Braden Holtby. Braden Holtby, a UFA at the end of this year, so he's hoping to hold off contract negotiations as they go through the Stanley Cup playoffs run. And another quick save, and that's played out this time. Washington, other than their Stanley Cup win, have been known for struggling in playoff series, as countless losses in the first and second round. They're trying to put the nail in the coffin here tonight and at least advance to round 2. As Hathaway starts it out for Washington. Washington looking for that tying goal. As Hathaway goes into the corner, bumped up by Van Riemsdyk. And Carolina doing some lockdown defense. Wants to try once more, as Aho is able to get a stick on that and prevent the opportunity out in the slot. Teravainen coming in down, tried to center it out in front, and Gudis blocked that one with his skates. Ovechkin in for Washington, gets some room, and he tried to wrist it home. But Mrazek covering that top right corner, gloves it down, and with 4:38 remaining, we will get a face-off. Just a reminder that all proceeds from the stream are going to Project Hope, a charity supporting and protecting the frontline healthcare heroes fighting COVID-19. So click the link in the chat to donate, or donate through the stream by subscribing, donating, or just by being a viewer. We appreciate all the support. As that's broken up by Carolina, across center. Orlov there to meet him, but he turns over to Niederreiter. Niederreiter to Stahl, out in front. As that was almost tapped in on the far side. Quick shot for Washington now, as that one's blocked. Slavin over to Fogle. Fogle tries to toe drag his way on in, and Jensen was ready for the task. He bumps that off, and here comes Oshie. EJ Oshie over to Jensen. Finds Oshie again in the slot, and that was Washington's best opportunity of the third period, as it was Oshie alone in the slot, unable to put her home, as Vrana. Another opportunity. Went just wide. Vrana down to Oshie. Over to Vrana. Quick shot, and another save by Mrazek, and he'll freeze this time around. So if this game goes into Game 7, Carolina historically has the edge on this one, as they have a franchise record of 5-3 in Game 7s, whereas we mentioned Washington struggles in the playoffs. Have just a 5-12 record in those situations. As we are back underway here, Williams. A minute left. Dumps it in. And Carolina are going to try to hold on to this one as Washington. One last pursuit. Ovechkin gets bumped off the puck. That's picked up by Hamilton. Holtby still in the net as Hamilton rushes all the way, killing some time. Over to McGinn. Shot, scores! McGinn from Dougie Hamilton takes a slap shot from the point. And Washington unable to pull their goalie, but it doesn't matter as McGinn beats Holtby. And a sigh of relief in Carolina as it looks as if they will force a Game 7. And McGinn just under the blocker, between the pad and the blocker of Holtby. And Hurricanes fans rejoice. 43.5 seconds remaining as Washington down 2. As Carolina gets the puck back and will kill some more time. Centering pass, and that's intercepted by Carlson. Washington has to work quickly here as Holtby now goes to the bench. Hagelin, a centering pass. Unable to find the stick as Dzingel will elect to just dump it in and kill more time. 25 seconds remaining. Washington has to get something started quick. Bumped off the blue line and Kempny over to Carlson. Trying to find something as Hagelin gets it in. Up front, and Eller unable to put it home. Had a great opportunity to put the Washington Capitals back in this game, at least give them a chance with 14 seconds left. But Mrazek, ever since that first intermission, has just been lights out as he has stopped everything he has seen in the latter frames of this one. Dzingel with 10 seconds left at the fans count down as Backstrom, a shot, and Mrazek will stop the countdown at 5. As the rest blow the whistle, and we will get at least one more face-off here. As with 5 seconds left, they'll send out Eller for the face-off. And that's one by Carolina, and another whistle by Mrazek. So these Carolina Hurricanes are trying to end this one. I'm sure the players want this one to wrap up too, but with 0.4 seconds left, the ref will do his due diligence and he'll drop the puck one last time. Well, there will be a storm surge in Carolina tonight as they force a Game 7 and will head back to Capital One Arena for a winner-take-all game in this round 1 matchup. And Mrazek, the hero of this one, as the Carolina fans wait to see what they have up their sleeves today, and it's bowling. And the one bowling the ball there, and always great fun in the playoffs when the players can celebrate a win like that. Thank you for tuning in to this ENHL stream. We will have more games upcoming in the future. If you haven't, please donate. Anything helps for COVID-19. Back to this game. It's going to a Game 7 as Carolina takes this one by a score of 4-2. Thank you for tuning into ENHL. We will see you next time. Have a good one.